can do this? Do you think I can do this show today without putting my headphones on? Because my hat is very thick. And I don't think I'll be able to hear.
Just try. Let's get organized here.
Okay.
I can't get these headphones.
I can't hear anything through my hat.
Hello?
Well.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Are you over there?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that sort of took me by surprise. Took me by storm.
Well, we were both just diddly farting around.
I was not doing that.
I totally was. Whatever that means, I was doing it. I was scrolling through my phone and complaining. And then you said, oh my God, it's time.
Yeah. Well. So, did you pick up the free chair yet on the side of the road?
No, Kristina.
Well, because you better hurry. It's getting wetter and wetter.
I'm not picking it up. Ever. I don't even have a vehicle that could hold a chair of that size. I had to get my sister to come and move a half a sheet of plywood for me recently.
Yeah.
I realized how ridiculous it is to try and exist in this area without a truck of some sort.
Yes. I have to move sheetrock. It's like huge, long. I don't know. Why did I get 10? Is it 10 footers? They're huge. They're in my basement.
Sheetrock comes in 10. I thought it came in the same.
10?
I think it's 8. I think it's 4x8, the same as plywood, but I could be wrong because you know what? Sheetrock is not really my native ground.
What is?
I'm more of a plywood moving kind of girl.
Oh, you like plywood?
I kind of do.
You don't like press board though, right?
Oh God, no. You mean like
particle board?
Beaver board, particle board.
Beaver board? Why do they call it that?
I don't know.
That's anti-beaver. I don't like that.
Why is it anti-beaver? Maybe it's
because
honoring
it sounds
the
like
beaver.
a slang or a. I don't think so.
What about bitchathane? Do you like that?
We talked about that before.
I know. We always talk about it.
Yeah, you just want to say bitch.
No, I just wanted to say bitchathane. Really does roll off the tongue nicely.
Don't toy with me. It's too early for that. So
I had Doritos and a caramel for breakfast. So
oh God,
clearly the day is starting very well.
I decided I was going to start.
That's not usually what I eat. I just happened to throw them at my mouth earlier.
Yeah, that's what you always say.
No, I only admit it when I eat something bad.
So I don't
tell you all the times I eat good things.
I'm not going to say throw up anymore. I'm just, because I say it too much, I'm going to say upchuck.
I don't like the word upchuck.
It's funny, though. You get kind of a little sense of, but
it's
humor.
Like a person's name. It feels like...
Mr. Upchuck?
It feels like wrong. No, Chuck is somebody's name. So it just feels... I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone named Throw Up, but I do know people named Chuck. So
yeah, and woodchucks. Don't forget woodchucks. Never forget woodchucks.
Okay,
because we live amongst them, and they probably outnumber us.
Definitely.
And the uprising of the woodchucks will come one day.
The woodchucks seem to be real tamped down lately by the squirrels. There's like a squirrel revolution happening.
Oh,
and the woodchucks have been squashed. Their menace has been overpowered by the squirrel menace.
You're just making that up. But it's
fine. But I think it might be true.
I like stories a lot.
Super.
Yeah.
I didn't make a list, so I'm counting on your list and my iPhone to tell me what to talk about today.
Well, just, while we're talking about the weather and stuff like that, I think it's...
talking about the weather?
Well, we're in that phase of the show when we kind of talking about stuff like the weather.
Okay.
So we could talk about the weather.
Did you have snow yesterday? We had snow.
Yeah, 4 inches.
Whoa, you did not have 4 inches.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't have 4 inches.
What do you mean? Don't doubt a woman's...
You're only a few miles away from me, and we just had a little, a half inch,
You don't believe me, huh?
You had 4 inches?
It happened to me.
Oh my God.
Don't
Is
doubt
it gone now, though?
No, it's not.
It's not
Sorry,
gone.
I'm still adjusting my levels. It's not. Okay. It's not gone. It's not. It's not gone. What are you doing? Don't check.
I'm trying to get to my home. I'm not texting. I'm trying to get to my homepage so I can see what we did this week and if I took any picture of snow. But I guess I didn't.
I think it's time to put an end to leaf blowers once and for all. We've
talked about this before. Leaf blowers are the most ridiculous apparatus ever.
Yeah, I had to pass one. Did you just pass the guy out here?
Yes, I did.
You think people are happy that have that job?
I think that was like a leaf vacuum, though. That's slightly different to me. I feel like a leaf vacuum is okay because you're at least...
No.
Well, he's putting them in that truck. Do you see that truck he's got there with big black plastic?
Yes, but the suckers traumatize children. The leaf sucker machines.
I was really traumatized by the bathtub drain as a small child.
Similar concept. Yeah, just like the leaf suckers. Yeah, but the leaf blowers, it's an opposite action. Equal and opposite.
That's just stupid. Definitely stupid.
You could blow them into a sucker. What about that?
Right. This is just a lot of gear that you need to deal with the leaves when actually you don't even need to deal with the leaves.
No, you can just let them sit there. You can let them sit there, but because they blow away. They blow away.
They do. The earth is its own leaf blower.
They blow away.
Especially lately. I thought my roof was going to blow away.
Yeah. Or they fertilize things. They do fertilize things.
Well, I often rake them up in the spring and just sort of let them protect.
Mm-hmm. That's smart.
I mean, they kind of insulate the ground a little.
Yeah, I stopped raking a few years ago. I just gave up. You got to give some stuff up. You got to stop doing some things.
We rake for the sole purpose of creating leaf piles to play in, but like that's fun. Sort of it, I guess.
Yeah.
It does just seem to mysteriously vanish. It blows away, goes somewhere. We live in a very windy spot, though.
Mm-hmm.
And that last couple nights of gusty winds stripped all of our trees, which is sad. So it went straight to like stick season overnight.
It did.
And I made the kids sleep in our bedroom really too the last few nights. Because right on that corner of the house where the boys' bedroom is a big, big old tree that's dying and has a giant hanging branch kind of that goes right at their bedroom. So whenever it's super windy, I usually make them sleep in the spare bed room, but it is now covered with laundry to be sorted right now. So I dragged them into our room and threw one of them on an air mattress on the floor, and the other one crawled in bed with us. And that's I can't sleep in a little puppy pig pile any longer. It's so hot and sweaty, and you get kicked. And
yeah, you know where they cut down some huge old trees? Barnard, East Barnard, in front of the church.
That is an old village, but there's some big.
Remember those trees?
There. Yeah,
there's like 3 or 4 huge old.
Well, maybe not anymore.
They're
is
gone.
That what you're trying to say?
Yeah, they're gone. I watched it. I mean, I didn't sit and watch the whole thing, but I saw it happening.
Whoa.
Oh, good Lord.
We don't have any, like, petrified forest wood around
changes.
Here. Do we?
Petrified wood?
Yeah. Doesn't that just happen in more arid climates? What makes petrified wood, anyway?
Time. Time passing.
No, because time has passed here just as well as everywhere else in the world.
Time is heavy.
Do you see petrified wood around?
I don't see it, but I know it's happening. Like a lot of things.
It's like in the Grand Canyon in California and stuff, and in other countries.
Yeah, and it is time pressing down to condense.
It's something about climate.
It's like eventually everything will become a black hole, so petrified wood eventually becomes a black hole.
Right, but what makes it? Dryness?
It's the leaf sucker that sucks everything down.
They're petrified.
It's a universal...
The wood is petrified.
I don't know why I'm enjoying this conversation so much. It really doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay. But somehow I think these things are inextricably connected. When I got the image of the leaf blower blowing into the leaf sucker, that just set off the tone for my whole week. So I'm going to meditate on that, along with Venus is retrograde. Okay, just start there. Start there. Okay, imagine
what?
Venus.
What?
Venus.
I just have to accept this.
What do you think? Yeah, what do you think about Venus? Just tell me the truth.
I think it's a brand of razors that I sometimes buy in the grocery store.
No. Let's go deeper with Venus.
You know what is crummy about Venus razors too, though? I don't
care.
This has nothing to do with Venus razors. It just has to do with leg hair. You either got to be all in or all out with leg hair, because you can't do this half and half thing the way that I do sometimes. Like, I have lots of leg happening in the summer, so I tend to take the hair off of it just because.
You know what?
What?
I'm not sure people care.
Well, I'm just saying, you either have to upkeep or just leave it be, because if you go a long time and then you're like, oh, crap, I got to be in a dance show tonight, and you go and try to get all the hair off your legs.
You know what?
It's like if you wait too long to mow your lawn, and then it's just like clumps, and you're like, do I rake? What do I do now? What?
I don't think people care
about
your leg hair.
I'm just I'm just following
and
your
you
Venus
interrupted me.
Tangent. When do I not interrupt you? All right, go back to Venus the planet.
Okay, so Venus is...
without a moisturizing strip.
Yeah, Venus is about beauty, love, money. Okay, so
Why
take
would they
that.
name a razor brand that?
It's a planet. It was a planet before it was a razor. Just remember that. That's a fairly easy concept for you to grasp.
I think that's debatable.
Not here.
Okay,
we're
fine.
not going to get into that debate today.
All right, okay.
So we're going to go back to the origin of Venus, which I believe is a planet. I mean, there could be something behind the planet that I don't know about, but as far as
Isn't
I
it
can
a
go
god
back,
too? Isn't it a
well,
Greek
which
god?
came first, the god or the planet?
Yeah, I don't know.
That is a good question. It's a valid question, but that's
before I was born.
That is sort of where we're going with this, because it's kind of a mythological philosophical conversation, right? So you take the mythology of Venus, which represents beauty, love, and money, and you make it go backwards. That's what retrograde is. Venus is going backwards in the sky. And not only is Venus going backwards in the sky, but
money and love and everything are going backwards?
In Scorpio.
That sounds very bad, whatever it is.
It's really, that is the dark secrets. Dark secrets.
For like everybody, or for people of just a certain astrological sign?
The whole
Why do you bring this bad news to us?
It's not bad. When I heard that Venus was going to be in retrograde, I was overjoyed. I thought this is a great opportunity for us.
You always think that.
Well, life, that's kind of what the definition of life, right? But there's certain helping factors, and Venus in retrograde in Scorpio just felt like a big helping factor to sort of reveal what's actually going on in the universe to us personally. And what the heck are we doing here? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself the question?
Like daily, but I don't, yeah.
Do you just slough it off?
Kind of have to.
Just kind of push it down
a little bit.
Hit it back down.
Yes.
Down.
Like, I don't know what the point of this is, but I have to carry on because otherwise dinner won't get made, and I haven't finished making all these horrible emails.
Right. And we would be paralyzed, but there has to be a controlled way to consider the question.
We would be paralyzed. See, that's how I think about ghosts.
Right.
I can't take the time to work out whether I believe in them or not, because if I believed in them, I would be paralyzed.
Right.
It's the same with astrology and the meaning of life.
Yeah.
If I ponder it too long.
And leaf suckers that suck in from leaf blowers.
You know, I don't think anyone else does that. That would be a good idea, but it seems like people are either team leaf blower or team leaf sucker. There's no combo, I don't think.
Well, if that whole group could just go off,
if you could bring them all together and they joined forces, there could be a heck of a lot less leaves on this planet, and wouldn't that be great?
No, they'd actually be recirculating the same leaves for eternity. Now that is purgatory. That is my definition of purgatory.
That's what's going to happen if you ever die or in our limbo for a while. You're just going to have to blow leaves.
Do a leaf sucker. and probably with people you don't like. Right? Just to add the creme de la creme. Yeah. Oh, good Lord. Good Lord.
We didn't, A, introduce our show, B, thank our sponsors, or C, introduce ourselves.
You know, instead of saying we didn't, why don't you just do it?
Well, sometimes I do. I'm just pointing this out to you, Kristina Stykos.
Okay, thanks.
Co-host of 11th Hour Radio.
Duly noted.
Why do we do this to ourselves?
I don't know. It's not easy. It's not easy to be us.
We were just discussing with Bob as he left how no one yells at us about how horrible we are on the radio, and we're very grateful for that fact.
Yeah, but you can bet that if I have ink on my hands, it's going to end up on my face.
You know what? It didn't last week.
I was worried. I'm always paranoid.
That you had ink on your face, and you didn't. I checked you a bunch of times.
I know, but so much of my life, I've walked around with big smudges all over my face.
I know. I do that too.
It's not my fault.
And people don't tell me. They just look at me and smirk.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anyone else have junk on their face?
Because they use mirrors.
And why is it so humiliating to walk around with a leaf stuck to your head or something? I just don't understand. Like people act like they really got one up on you if you've got a leaf or something stuck to your hair that you're not aware of.
I know,
or some ink on your face you're not aware of. Like, how are you supposed to see it? Your eyes are like embedded in your face, so
but think how hard it is to stop.
Does it actually make you a lesser person?
Here's the problem.
What?
It's very hard to stop a conversation that's in full swing to say, hey, by the way, you have a booger sticking out of your nose.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, what can you think of a tactful way to do that?
No, but why does it make people feel so horrible? Like if they have something,
because if
spinach in their teeth or like what?
It's
what does that mean? What's the meaning of that?
It's the baseline of humiliation that we all live in this morass.
It's the baseline of vanity because it means the person,
they're great bedfellows, vanity and humiliation.
Checked a mirror every 5 seconds. And why should they? Why should we all be checking a mirror every 5 seconds to make sure there's no poppy seed in our dog tooth or leaf in our hair, ink on our nose? Why do we have to? Why?
I used to do it.
What does it even matter?
I used to do it. I gave up on it. I said it doesn't matter because nobody loves me anyway.
No, that's not what you said, and that's not true.
I did. I said if the right person comes along, they will just also have spinach in their teeth.
I sometimes, if I have to tell somebody something, I reverse it. Well, I don't tell people that much because I don't really see that many people. But when I do, I have people check me at the same time because it kind of like...
Who are we talking about?
Like if I was going to say, Kristina, you have some spinach in your teeth, and then I would be like, how are mine? Do I have some? I would do that because it makes you feel...
that's brilliant.
It makes you feel like you are not alone in the spinach.
You can do this. You can go, let me check you for boogers. And you check me. So it's like monkeys grooming each other.
I'm just saying you can open it up for like a nice mutual.
No.
You can. No. Do I have a booger? Is that why you're starting this conversation?
You'll have to go check. I'm not going to tell you at this point.
It's far away and dark in our bathroom here. Nobody could ever see in this bathroom if they had a booger.
That's why I check. I always check my nose out in the car before I come into the show.
Even though you're just going to hang out with me in this little room for an hour?
Yeah, I don't want you to have to go through that trauma.
I don't find it that traumatic, so it's probably okay. Just saying.
But you'll tell me, right?
I will tell you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now I feel just terrible. Just to have had spent 10 minutes on that conversation. I kind of feel like what is the meaning of life? We're back to that question.
Deep.
I don't know.
Do we have to play music?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to give it one more minute.
Oh, then I'll thank our sponsors and underwriters.
Yeah, do it.
Which are Howe Farms, Tunbridge Grease Collective, Mountain Folk, and Rivendell Restoration. Is that right?
I believe so. We might check with him, see how he likes it to be presented.
I know.
It's a very nice name.
Shh.
I didn't say it was a good bit. I don't.
You're not supposed to say nice things about the things that...
I don't restore anything.
You know what?
Do I look like someone who's using
Why
that
do
business?
we get in trouble for saying nice things about the businesses that sponsor and underwrite us? Because I've heard everybody else do it.
It's biased.
I guess they do yell at us sometimes.
Don't want to show your bias. Stick it back in your pocket. Stand away from the car. Okay, let's see if we can dial up a song.
Oh God, you have the pie pad and it looks like it's misbehaving, but
it's probably misbehaving.
Okay?
But I'm gonna try. Try. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Okay, what are you
All
playing?
right.
What are you gonna
I've
try
got
to
Ariel.
play? Oh, good.
Zevon, Cold-Hearted Empath.
Oh, I like this song.
Girl, I'm not a woman, no I. I'm not a doll, I'm not a bitch, no I. I'm not a wife, I'm not a whore, no I'm nobody's no one. Nobody's no one, no. I'm not a fighter, not a lover, no I. not an angel, not a devil. No, I'm nobody's no one. Nobody's no one. I'm a cold-hearted empath with my eyes open wide and my heart sealed shut. Gonna take it all in till I'm full to the brim. Tip me on over, let my soul pour out. I'm a cold-hearted empath. Cold-hearted empath. If I lace up your boots, you can see through my lenses. If I put on your shadow, you can carry my heart. Would we still fall to pieces when we step off the edge? I'm not a boss, I'm not a bomb, no I, no I. I'm not a master, not a slave, no I, no I. I'm not a wolf, I'm not a sheep, no I'm nobody's. I'm not a girl, I'm not a woman, no I, no I. I'm not a doll, I'm not a bitch, no I, no I. I'm not a wife, I'm not a whore, no I'm nobody's no one. Nobody's no one. I'm a cold-hearted empath with my eyes open wide and my heart sealed shut. Gonna take it all in till I'm full to the brim. Tip me on over, let my soul pour out. I'm a cold-hearted empath. Cold-hearted empath. Cold-hearted empath.
Okay.
Woohoo, woohoo.
That's a song we actually played with on stage with Jackson Brown. But you know what? You know what happened? I never told anybody this. We had rehearsed it, on that last arpeggio chord on the electric guitar. Yeah. I had done it perfectly every time we rehearsed it, and then in the actual performance, I flubbed it.
That's always the way. God, I do that too. I
kicked myself, but it was okay. I said, well, Jackson at least heard me do it right before. So that was all I cared about, really. I didn't care about the 5,000 people.
Teaching dance, and I was concentrating to make sure my students have the piece perfectly, and then we get out on stage, and I'm like, oh, whoops, how does this go again? And I'm the one who messes up, and I've, thrashed them repeatedly to get it right, and who messes up? Me. Always.
And that's good for the kids to see.
Oh, it's great.
It feels more humanity.
They love my
humanity.
Humiliation.
Yeah. Well, I think, related to what you said during the little break there.
Oh, the brass instruments have no use.
Well, there was that, that which mean. I presented the other side of that argument, telling you that a lot of people in the studio had been wanting to add trumpet parts to their recordings.
I know. I was just saying that I get annoyed with my kids' school band because I feel like a stringed instrument might be a better thing to learn instead of always the brass, because you grow up and it's not like you can sit around your friend's campfire and haul out your tuba. It's just... Yeah. I like stringed instruments because you can sing at the same time. So basically you got two instruments in one, whereas you got a tuba, you're just going to be doing your tuba.
Yeah. But it depends, I guess, on the personality of the kid. I mean, if songs are great for a lot of kids to be able to play songs, there's a usefulness to that. And other kids are just like, hey, I play the tuba, and they like to stand out like that. I guess so. So it does divide. But yeah, it's nice to have a horn section now and then. But not a lot. Anyway.
I was just being jerky. It's just because I don't like brass, Yeah. Brass is a metal that I just don't care for. Think about it. Would you rather have like a nice wrought iron chandelier in your house, or would you rather have a brass one? Think about it.
Yeah, just as you're saying this from the vantage point of working in a museum where there's all kinds of different, tarnished metals as part of your environment, right? You've got probably...
Just not a brass fan.
What's the one? Pewter? You have pewter.
Pewter's okay.
It's okay when it's new.
Lead's no longer very nice. That's not a good thing anymore.
Yeah. Some people are like, putting aluminum around themselves.
What?
Some people, well, it protects you from microwaves. So if you're worried that if you're worried about microwaves, you can like wear aluminum foil.
Or just don't have a microwave. We don't have a microwave.
No, this has gone beyond microwave ovens, actually. That's where it all started. You know, I never felt good about those ovens. Did you? Did you like those? I never liked them.
I always made sure nobody was near them when they were going.
Yeah, they just looked evil. I would leave the room when people put their...
it's like a little gas chamber for your like leftovers.
Well, it disturbs the molecules of your food.
And have you seen what it does to marshmallows? It implodes them. It sucks them in.
You know what it does
and then they go puff and they explode everywhere.
Yeah, but it's even worse like if you put a hot water bottle in there.
I don't think you can
Yeah, you're not supposed to. So don't ever do that.
Well, when did you do this and why?
No, I just heard about it. I wouldn't do that.
My grandmother always called it the nuke box, and hers was huge. She had like the first one ever made. So it's like the size of an oven, and it sits on her counter, and you could basically roast a whole child in it if you needed to.
Well, that
just seems not good, doesn't it?
Right. I don't need that.
No.
That functionality wouldn't have a place in my home.
Unless you're going to like roast a small
But I discovered I have a highly powerful microwave device in my house, and here I was avoiding it, dancing around microwave ovens, right, all these years, and pretty much successfully defending myself against them. And then I discover that I have this wireless router in my house, an old one. Which, of course, old things like that
uses
are even
microwaves? Worse. What? I was going to say cell phones are probably just as bad.
Well, they're getting worse.
For you.
Cell phones are going from 4G to 5G, and that's actually can be weaponized.
Is it just when they're on cellular function that's bad? Like, if I use my cell phone as a little computer and I just use Wi-Fi with it, is that okay?
It's better, but the Wi-Fi discussion is also worth having. So I'm going to get more information on this and let you know. But I actually moved my wireless router to another place in the house, and I'm going to go back to Ethernet cables. So for those people who think I'm crazy, there is science behind this. And so I'm going to come.
I don't think you're crazy.
Yeah.
I always was afraid to walk between the beam of the remote control and the television because it kind of freaked me out.
Think about...
Something's there. Something is going through there.
Yes, and, well, of course, radio. Radio does that too, but it's a different kind of wave, so they keep changing.
It's a different frequency. That's been around for a long time. I feel like maybe there's nothing too bad about radio.
Yeah, I think radio waves are a different...
They seem kind of benign.
Length.
And soft.
They do now. They seem so harmless. They seem so friendly.
Yep.
We just love radio waves. But microwaves, I'm still... I never liked them. I still don't.
No, I'm with you there.
So I think I have microwave poisoning. That's my latest theory. So I'll let you know. This is going to be a long-term effort on my part.
I don't think you have microwave poisoning, but...
Well, I'm not going to...
You can look into that.
I'm not going to wear aluminum. I can tell you that. But to some people who
aluminum gives you Alzheimer's if you eat it.
Right. This isn't eating it, though. Some people actually think that they're being targeted with microwave weaponry, and so they protect themselves with aluminum.
What, like from the sky? From like a...
Yeah, like because they're, political targets and so on, because you can weaponize microwaves.
Ew.
I mean, they are effectively weaponized by the military, U.S. military.
This is turning into the conspiracy show now.
No, this is actually not conspiracy.
Like a satellite could just like zone in on microwave somebody?
Yeah, but I just want to say that this is not conspiracy. You can look it up. This is the military uses microwaves for weaponry. So
super icky. Yeah. It's like a giant version of my grandmother's nuke box.
I know. Well, let's talk about your barn party, which was so much fun.
It was so cold.
Oh my gosh.
It was so cold.
It was cold, but we did well.
You guys were awesome. I felt so bad for you guys until I remembered that I could turn the heater and point it at you.
Oh, we did.
Because you were sitting still. The rest of us were walking and standing by heaters, and you guys were like in the coldest, drafty spot without any heater.
Yeah, but we were focused on fiddle tunes, which always helps. Those fiddle tunes.
You guys were good.
That was so much fun. Your dad, Butch.
Yeah.
And I've said so many things about Butch on this show. Thank goodness he doesn't listen to the show.
I know. He definitely does not listen today.
I have to say, despite the fact that he leaves deerskins sitting around in acid in the backyard, I love playing fiddle tunes with him. So,
Yeah, he's an interesting one.
He really, really is. He's really, really interesting. You've got an interesting pop.
I do have an interesting pop.
You do.
And I love Steve, too. He's so happy. Like, Steve is one of the happiest people that I know, and just so... He's like a little beam of positive energy.
He is. That was fantastic to connect with him. I was trying to think. I played music with him one time before, right?
Yes, at our wedding.
Yes.
But
what did we?
You guys were like our wedding band reunion.
Yeah. Did we rehearse? I'm just trying to think back to.
I don't know. I think maybe for like a minute ahead of time.
Yeah, I don't think there was a lot of premeditated action on that.
Well, we kind of purposely picked people who didn't really need to rehearse, and we just sort of jam.
I remember.
Maybe you did, though.
No, I remember being in your kitchen with Butch. I think I rehearsed. I rehearsed with Butch, and probably Steve is just good enough to jump in and play anything.
Yeah,
so he didn't need to rehearse,
right.
But Butch and I rehearsed.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I do remember that.
Okay, that was totally cool.
Yeah, Steve teaches high schoolers fiddle and has an amazing, amazing fiddle group. And they travel all over New England. They even travel sometimes all over the country, into Canada, everywhere. And they do just awesome things.
They go overseas, too.
Yeah, I think they have.
Yeah.
Never heard kids play like that. It just blows you away.
Yeah, it's that happiness factor that makes all the difference.
I know. They played near us once. I can't remember how close they got to us at one point. He brought the kids maybe to Burlington or something, and we went, and my dad just cried through the whole performance. He loved it so much. He was just so blown away by those kids. But
that's nice.
I know.
Okay, so Personal Growth Friday.
Oh, we've skipped this a lot lately.
I know. I feel like we've just taken the
my growth has been stalled, stagnant.
But it's never too late to grow. It is never too late.
I could use some
so what? Well,
at the moment,
what was your most difficult moment this week? Let's start there.
I don't know. Trying to be a campaign manager and having really thick skin, because I don't have thick skin, and I already knew this was going to be a problem. But I thought it's okay. I'm going to expect that there's going to be sort of attacks, and that'll be okay. It doesn't matter. We're always going to take the high road, because that's John's thing. Like, he's not a complainer. He is not a punch back. Like, no. So I'm like, that is the best way to be. I will just do that. But then I just get so, that's not fair. That's a lie. I just get worked up, even though I told myself I wasn't going to get worked up.
It rankles you.
It does rankle me.
That's a good word, rankle.
I know. It definitely rankles. So I'm trying to not be distracted by going and trying to unravel little tangles that get thrown at us, because it's unnecessary. And that's specifically just what they are, is distractions. And and I need to just ignore them. But it's really hard, because that some people see certain things and they think, oh, is that true? Oh my gosh, that's terrible. We don't like John O'Brien or whatever. And I'm like, that's not true. I just want to reassure these people it's not true. But it's really just taking up valuable time for me to go and try to clean up all this stuff, which is silly, because
it's not
really John can. He doesn't need me to do that. It's very obvious that nothing bad media-ness would be true. So I just. Right. I need to let it go.
It's not your target audience.
No. Even I could show that he is a saint to those people and they still wouldn't vote for him. It's just a different. So I'm wasting my time and doing something that I said I wasn't going to do, and getting upset about something that I said I wasn't going to get upset about.
Yes.
So I just have to let that go, and that's okay.
That's fine. Good. I had a sort of a similar thing where but this was over a few months' time, where I got pretty upset about something, and it all kind of resolved because I had an epiphany of what I was doing. So I had this illuminating moment yesterday about self-doubt, because self-doubt is a real trickster,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had this professional situation which triggered all my feelings of self-doubt and basically paralyzed me for a few days. And then, and it was triggered. It just one person said one thing to me that set me off into this whole,
Isn't that ridiculous?
Self-negation.
Isn't it funny that 100 people could approve of you, But it's always the one disapproval that you take to heart and believe. Like, why don't we ever believe the compliments or the nice things people say about us? I never do. They could be laid on perfectly thick, and I would ignore them in favor of the one not kind thing said to me, and I would believe that was the truth. And it's very weird what programs us to feel that way.
I know. I would say that all the excuse me, all the nice things that people say are sort of they're important. They kind of create.
They are, and I never want to like downplay them, but
right. But you sort of tuck them away in your pocket. You sort of keep them with you. It's like you walk around with them tucked away in your pocket, and you don't necessarily need to look at them all the time. It's like a lucky stone.
I know, but then the slam gets printed right on your forehead.
Yeah, and then you forget all about your pockets. And so, I really gave up my sense of authority over my work because of this one comment, and it put me into a sort of tailspin where I had to develop a whole new strategy for finishing up this major project. But I don't know. In the end, I had to sort of claim my own sense of authority again, and just because really I realized that the other people in the project that I thought were experts were actually no more experts than I was. And it's just we all have different kinds of areas of knowledge and skill, and it's like it's not one is better than the other. And sometimes it does take a team to finish a project, but you don't have to destroy your own sense of self-worth to work with a team. And I think I'm such a maverick, and I'm always working by myself, that kind of finding the right kind of team is difficult for me. And, but it doesn't have to be extremes. Like, I didn't need to say, oh, well, if other people are going to work, if I have to call in other people, then I must be incompetent. So,
yeah, I know. I'm the same way, but I think it's because I'm also maybe a control freak. I just can't.
Yeah, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
If there's something that I'm producing, I want to produce it from start to finish. I don't. It gets all muddy in my head if other people are helping me. And even though I could certainly use help lots of times, I don't really understand what my role is anymore when I bring in help.
Well, it's especially if there's guys involved, as you sort of tend
then my role just
you abdicate,
disappears.
And that's what I did in this case. Because in my field, which, the music industry is very male-dominated, and I sort of gave up some of my authority thinking that these other people were more expert than I, and in the end, I discovered their mistakes on my work, which is what the revelation was yesterday, is I found that these so-called experts, and again, I'm not putting them down because they helped me along the way, but I found that they were making mistakes. And so, I made some mistakes, they made mistakes. Together, we're going to finish the project. But I just woke up and said, you know what, this is crazy. I'm just like giving them too much authority.
Yeah.
So that was my personal growth.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Sorry, absorbing.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
growing.
It's actually time for another song. So while we listen to this song, we can grow.
Okay.
We can grow. All right. Let's see. Okay, we have a song called The Gospel Song.
The train hasn't come.
Oh my gosh, where is the train?
It's usually here by now.
Oh, I feel empty now. You hear all that emptiness?
I'm just listening to hear if in case it's just a little ways away or anything.
Wow, you can really hear the void.
All right, play your song. Maybe that will bring the train.
That is a deep thing, that the lack of the train allows us to experience the void. Oh my God, I'm really onto something. Okay, so this is called The Gospel Song. It's by a band that used to exist. I'm not sure they exist currently in this form, but still some of the musicians are still very busy playing. The band was Don't Call Betty. So, let's see. Oh gosh, too many buttons to press.
electric formal energy. I was gone, I was so far gone. I blew away the darkness and that rain. You come back to me and give it one more try. Electric formal energy. In your eyes I see the vastness of our lives. You appear on a train and roll on by. It's the gospel according to you and me. It's the gospel according to you and me. They come streaming back to me as I grow old. Electric formal energy. If this life has taught me anything at all, what you do is who you are. You come back to me and give it one more try. Electric formal energy. In your eyes I see the vastness of our lives. You appear on a train and roll on by. It's the gospel according to you and me. It's the gospel according to you and me. Gospel according to you and me. The gospel according to you and me. It's the gospel according to you and me.
Thank you, Don't Call Betty.
Woo.
That was one of my first band albums that I made. I engineered. It's kind of funny. Sounds kind of low-tech to me. I kind of like it, though.
Low-tech?
Sort of. Yeah, it's got a low-tech sound, which is cool.
I wouldn't know. Everything sounds high-tech to me.
Yeah, but I think people are too fussy in certain ways about, oh, it's got to sound like this, it's got to sound like that. You know, it's music is just for fun and to just bring us closer to our emotions and our better thoughts, the better side of our thinking.
They need music at the DMV because it's really boring there, and we had to wait 2 hours to register our car this week.
Oh, I thought that whole situation had improved at the Vermont DMV.
Well, not if you go at lunchtime, which is stupid because that's when everybody goes.
Why did you go at lunchtime?
Because that was just the only time we could possibly go.
Yeah.
But see, that's when every single worker there leaves their little booth, and yet every single person comes in on their lunch break.
So you think they would kind of figure that out?
I don't know. I think that they should have a brunch instead. I think they should have a brunch break or a
They should have a party for those poor workers. They should bring in like Eggs Benedict.
We were like number R183 or something.
They could make the DMV such a happy place.
The R booth was like totally shut down the whole time we were there. There was no R's ever being called because the person was just gone eating lunch. And we waited and waited and waited. And I'm like, wow,
They don't
long
care.
Lunch break
they just don't care. They don't care sometimes, and I don't blame them for not caring. If they don't feel cared for, then they don't care.
Although we sat next to this guy, and that was the cool thing. We always end up talking to somebody neat at the DMV. There was just this guy who sat next to us, kind of an old salt-looking guy.
Yeah.
It turns out he is from Corinth, and he's a sheep farmer, and he sails, and it just... We knew a ton of the same people, and
that's very exciting. That's very exciting.
Good talks about lots of things.
I love people. People are great. I went up to the big city this week.
What?
I went up to the big city, Barrie.
Whoa.
I am so proud of Barrie. I am proud of Barrie.
Why?
Barrie picked itself up by its own bootstraps, by God.
Well.
And, had a little help. But I went up to the big city, and I had coffee.
Whoa. Have you tried the new coffee shop in town here?
No, I have not yet.
Our friends Andy and Lauren run it, and what is it called? First Branch Coffee. It just barely opened. And it must be really good.
I'll try
Andy drinks a lot of coffee.
I
think he drinks a lot of espresso is what I think, because he is a very high energy man.
Yes.
But I have not gone in yet because I don't drink coffee, but I heard they have tea too. And scones and lovely things.
Let's walk in. Let's get a scone, and you can get a tea, and I'll get a coffee.
Okay, let's do it next Friday, because I have to go and put up stinking campaign signs this Friday.
Well,
want to next Friday?
Yes, because then we can look forward to it all week.
Okay.
Getting a scone. You can't believe how exciting
you love scones. I forgot. Scones are your favorite thing, so they have scones for you, I think.
Yeah. It really helps me to...
and it looks beautiful.
I've
seen pictures, and it looks really beautiful inside.
It helps me to plan my week, my work week,
around
by looking at the oases of... Is that the plural of oasis? Oases? Oasi.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, scone to scone. Like an archipelago of scones.
I think you can just say scones is probably the... Oh, you're looking for the plural version of oasis.
Yeah, but I switched to archipelago, which is fun to say, so let's just go with that.
I thought you were looking for the plural version of scones, which is silly because...
No.
Scones.
I just want to call out whoever did the Halloween decorations in Bethel. No.
What are they? I haven't been through.
Straw men with pumpkin heads with hard hats. No good. No good.
Everybody come to our Haunted Trail event on the 26th and 27th of this month. It's actually not ours. It belongs to the Tunbridge Fire Department, but come. It will be very scary. I'm selling your tickets.
Good poster.
Thank you.
I love your photography.
I don't do very much of it anymore.
Well, you will.
I need a camera. I need a decent camera first.
You just have children.
I should be doing more of it then. I should be capturing every second of their life. They already feel like I am. It makes them crazy. I don't think they're going to remember me having a face growing up, just like a camera for a head.
Right. Everybody's confused. Let's face it.
But I'm much better than I used to be. At least now I have small cameras and phones that I can just sort of hold up so they could still see my face behind it instead of the big honking camera that I used to hold in their face.
That's smart. Well, I think it is a confusing campaign season. I mean, there's so many people running for office that have similar names. Listen to this. This is why people are confused and they don't know who to vote for. Phil Hoff, Bill Huff, Phil Scott.
They're totally different offices, though.
It doesn't matter. They all sound the same. Or you could mix them up even. You could say Bill Huff, Phil Scott, Phil Hoff. How do you know what you're doing?
This is just like the problem I always have at my museum, the Justin Smith Moral Homestead, when we have Joseph Smith, the Mormon guy, just down the road. And then we also have Justin Morgan, the Morgan horse guy, also just down the road. So people don't understand what historical venue they're coming to.
Exactly.
This happens a lot in Vermont.
This is like rigor mortis of the.
We just need more unique names. Why don't we have like Moon Unit Scott instead of...
You brought up Moon Unit last week.
I know. I was just remembering it again. Unusual names. Like, if people just didn't have all the same darn names. I feel bad for my John. How many Johns are there? I feel bad for myself. How many Emilys are? There's like, it's the number one most popular baby name for the last like 12 years. And then, I think this year or last year I got booted out by Emma.
Well,
Here comes the train.
I was actually going to suggest that every week we bring in a story about either a Bob, a Ted, or a Ralph. like as a regular feature.
Well, what about...
I've got a TED
My brother-in-law
story.
Jim had a Jim party once. He invited every person he knew who was named Jim, and he gave them all name tags that said, "Hi, my name is Jim." And there was a lot. It was like full house of Jims.
That's a brilliant idea.
Kinda.
I kind of want to have one of those, but I don't know enough people with my name. I can just pretend my name is Bob and have a Bob party, because I do know a lot of Bobs.
Yeah. Here comes the train again.
Okay, I'm going to open the door so we can hear it.
Okay. I just know that you were worried.
Yeah, I was.
I almost had the same boots as you on today, but then I changed them because I got them a little wet.
I want boots like that.
These are great. I love them. These are actually Ira's. He outgrew them. Okay, train.
Okay, here it comes. It's coming. It's coming. It's going. It's gone.
Wait, what size are your feet? I bet you could have Eli's outgrowed ones.
9-ish.
Yeah,
8.5. I'd try it. Because
they're so comfy. I love these.
Need some shoes. But I did buy those 2 pair of jeans, so I don't know if I have money to buy shoes now.
Whoa. Well, that's why you get hand-me-downs from friends.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That works the best.
We should have one of those clothing parties and invite everybody.
Let's do that. I have too much clothing, though. I just want to give people clothing. I don't want to take any home again with me. Our entire king-size spare bed is like mounded up with laundry right now because our washer was broken for like a month or 2. So I was taking laundry to my sister and my mom. And then we were just leaving like heaps of dirty laundry in the hampers and stuff. And then when our washer got fixed, we just did so much laundry that I haven't had time to put it all away yet. So it's just getting piled in the guest bedroom. Yeah. And now it's overwhelming. I look at it and I'm like, Mount Laundry, I cannot scale you today.
I spent like 3 hours folding laundry.
And you're one human being.
Yeah, because I don't have a dryer. It just makes everything hard.
Well,
but I've got
we have one, but we don't use it in the summer.
I've got Airbnb guests again this weekend, so I have to get with it. But you know what? The worst part about it is that all the sheets are folded and they look perfect, and I want to take a picture of it because I'm going to start taking them off the shelves and getting them onto beds again, which just feels like unfair.
Laundry and dishes are such monotonous chores. Like, you never can get ahead. This is why I hate chores like that. I like chores where you create something or I don't know, something that are kind of like one-time deals, like stack all the wood. I mean, it gets used up, but it's over the course of a winter, so that is a good chore.
Well, you're saying
you get
a real sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, but dishes, it's like you do the dishes and you turn around, and then your kids have left like a whole sink full of dishes again in 4 seconds. Or the same with laundry. They're the things that you have to do every single day.
Well,
and that you never can get ahead. You can never finish.
I know you'll never do this, but I have a great suggestion for you with dishes: is to start listening to true crime podcasts. Because that's what I've been doing. There's a great true crime podcast called Up and Vanished. I don't know how I found it. I think
if I like that kind of thing.
Well, it's very interesting. It's these new
John
these
loves
young
like murder mysteries and stuff.
Well, these millennials are into solving cold cases, and they sort of crowdsource.
That is kind of interesting, I guess. And I used to love what's that show that used to be on? Unsolved Mysteries. Like that?
Yeah, exactly. And it actually can work to just engage people, random people who are interested in the podcast, and he sort of uncovers the case in real time as to how he experiences, finding new information. So it's a very interesting process, and people get involved, and then they have these events. They have live events of question and answer where they get together with like the private detective on the case and the podcaster, and people come and they have a party. And
I feel like lots of old cold cases could be so easily solved now because we have all this DNA testing. Like,
Well, it's helpful. It's not like a cure-all.
Except for everybody who cares is dead, so nobody even bothers.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of the things that I learn about as I listen to these true crime podcasts is that there's a lot of corruption in the police world.
Oh, definitely.
And in the judicial system. And a lot of that just gets uncovered. You just can't believe it. You can believe it. You can believe it.
Look right now at life, and you can believe it.
Yeah, so this is kind of a fun way to learn about how bad stuff is.
Ooh, yay.
Make it entertaining. I mean, there's something perverse about that. It's, somehow forging this entertainment
silver
vehicle.
lining, man.
Oh, good Lord. We have to go. We have to go.
I just got comfortable and put my feet up and everything.
I know. We could do this for another hour, but we're going to have to go get back to our regular life. I have to do some mixing.
I've got to go rush. So this is my happy little rest hour here.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to mixing because I'm just almost done. And this is the last round of mixing. So I'm just thrilled for my new album.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I need to help you sometime. This is silly. Every time you have an album, I have just crap loads of other life stuff.
Let's figure. Well, your kids are getting older, so hopefully this is going to shift a little bit. Okay. So you've been listening to 11th Hour Radio.
Oh yeah, WFER LP, South Royalton.
And who are we?
You remember Kristina and Emily? Yeah, I thought you meant like our show.
Yeah, Kristina, Stykos, and Emily Howe.
Yeah. That's right.
Streaming to you live from the cow pastures of home or the sheep pastures. I never know whether it should be sheep or cow, but
or pig in your case. Sad pigs.
That's a whole other story. We'll update on that sometime. We'll update the story of the pigs in my front yard. So thanks for listening. We've had a really great time.
We have.
Feel free to contact us on our Facebook page. If people contact us, we will respond. And I'm going to try to get Emily more active in that.
I know.
Right,
I will
Emily?
try.
Because you're so good and you just are too busy. So
I am too busy. But check also our website, which Kristina does an awesome job of keeping up, 11thhourradio.com. And you can find all of our podcasts there. You can subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts.
All right.
Have a great weekend.
See you next week.
Bye.